Hey everyone, I would like to preface this podcast by saying that the audio quality on this podcast is unfortunately not at the best quality. This is because I do not have a proper mic or a professional setup, and I really just did this on the fly with a very poor setup. As such, there are some audio cracks and squeaks that I tried to fix, but of course, you can only do so much on Audacity. Of course, if you guys would like to see more episodes of this, then I'll try to get a better mic moving forward. So yeah, I apologize for the audio in advance, and also there is no visual footage here, so I recommend listening to the podcast while you're doing something else concurrently. All that being said, enjoy the podcast. Welcome everyone to the very first episode of Wushu Network Podcast. This is a podcast where we discuss matters and topics that generally concern the Singapore Wushu community. I'm your host Brian, and joining me here today as my guest is someone that I would say probably needs no introduction. I would say he's a guy that's actually pretty well known and well recognized within the Wushu community. His name is Zheng Yan. How are you doing, man?
Hello, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for letting me be the first guest of this episode. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you, man. Really, really.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do some discussion around very general topics regarding the Wushu community today.
Okay.
Before we get into that, I think we should probably do a very quick introduction of ourselves.
Mhm.
It's the first episode, and I don't think the viewers even know who I am. So
Right.
we're gonna do that real quick. I will start. So my name is Brian. I've been doing Wushu since 2003, so about 17 years now. Competitively, I've been around since 2008. And I've joined, of course, like most of us in competitions, we join outside Wushu club. So mine was martial house at first, and I've been doing Wushu competitively until 2018, where I decided to stop competing in Wushu and just stop training in general. So I've moved on to other things. However, I'm now currently trying to find some way to contribute back to the Wushu community. And in terms of Wushu itself, I've just been performing mostly for the club that I'm in, which is Rex Arts right now, and some small occasional coaching, but generally still trying to find out what I'm trying to do next for Wushu. Yeah, so that's about it. Zheng Yan, what about you?
Okay. So hello, everyone. For those who don't know, who am I? Yeah. I'm Zheng Yan, and I'm currently a coach in martial house. That's what I'm doing right now. For some backstory, I used to be a athlete, right? I competed for Malaysia. I went for some international games and was lucky enough to win some small achievements of myself. I also participated in the SEA Games in 2015, the one that is held in Singapore. But yeah, that's just my career. It was very short though, but yeah. Currently, right now, I'm a coach, like I said, but I'm also giving back to the Wushu community by, I think you should know, I formed Wushulegends. Yeah, and I love taking photographs. So yeah, I'm shooting a lot for Wushulegends and the IWUF as a whole. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so let's talk about, okay, before we continue, let's talk about Wushulegends a little bit. So this podcast actually is very influenced by Wushulegends. I
wow.
would say that Wushulegends is a platform that was the first of its kind. Definitely.
Yeah.
We of course had now we have a lot more platforms like I believe Wushu Stars and the recently created Wushu Singapore on Instagram.
Yeah.
But Wushulegends was definitely, I would say, ahead of its time. So maybe just give us a little bit of a background. Why did you decide to create Wushulegends?
Okay. At least for me, I think Wushulegends is I would say second of its kind. First of all,
Right.
I'm not sure if you remember, but back in the day, they had something called Wushu Jailbreakers.
Oh yes,
Right,
definitely.
right. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
But they're. I'm not sure if they're active now. It's just that yeah. So that was the first one. But okay. So being an athlete that represented my country, I've had the chance to meet a lot of friends from overseas, right?
Right.
Like people from the West Hemisphere and you know Southeast Asia as a whole. I think that's where
Right.
most of my friends are. But basically, yes, I was given the opportunity to meet a lot of people, and we made friends. We talk a lot, and you know there's always one part of me that was thinking like, after I quit Wushu, is there something I could do that's related to Wushu?
Yes.
I never thought I'm gonna start photography, but this spreading Wushu has always been something that I'm very keen to do. And I was very happy that speaking this idea to a lot of my friends, overseas friends, a lot of them are actually very into it as well.
Right.
So, but of course, different people have different priorities in life at that point. So the people that actually made it to action was me. The original members
Yep.
for Wushulegends was me, my god sister, which is Panda Lo. I'm sure you know her.
Yes, definitely from Malaysia.
Yeah, and then I had the co-founder, which is a girl from Germany. Her name is Leonie. She no longer does Wushu anymore, which is a shame.
Right.
She was actually very good, but yeah, Leonie. And one more guy in the United States called Tony. That's a good brother of mine. Yeah. So,
Right.
So basically, we started Wushulegends just for the sake of spreading Wushu and because actually Wushu, even though it's a sport, you can argue it being as an art form as well. I mean, it's very
Definitely.
graceful. Yeah,
Yes.
it's like gymnastics, but with a little hint of Chinese culture in it. Actually, a lot, but yeah.
Yes.
So I thought that the movements were very graceful, the jumps were all very beautiful, and it's just rich in culture. So we decided to start Wushulegends. Number one, obviously to spread the love for Wushu. Number two is just to appreciate the art form as a whole. And then slowly after that, I picked up photography to create content for myself for Wushulegends, and that's how the goal and objective for Wushulegends has been since then. So if you notice, Wushulegends don't really do any repost at all.
Yes, definitely.
All our posts are content created by ourselves. But once in a while, if we see something very, very amazing, we would definitely repost. I mean, we're open
Right.
to that idea. It's just that it's a platform to share our content, because I mean, we see a lot of reposting accounts like Wushu Stars,
Yes.
which is fantastic. Wushu Stars,
Yes.
Boo Wushu, and stuff like that. But we seldom see original content, and that's
Yes,
what we're
definitely.
doing.
Yeah,
So that's what we're doing.
I think something that actually you mentioned very just now very briefly is that Wushu is a very unique sport that is actually, I would say, the perfect balance between performing arts and sports. It's 50% each, and
Yeah.
we've seen other things like gymnastics and perhaps dance. But
Yeah.
I think Wushu is the one, I would say, the one sport that is really split down into the middle between performing arts and sports. And another thing that you said earlier is that I would agree that most of us, in fact, all of us, after our Wushu careers, most of the time, if you want to continue in Wushu, it's going to be a coach. And for you to move into Wushulegends, it's definitely something that is hopefully a start of many new careers ahead for Wushu as well.
Yeah. Obviously, like I think apart from being a coach, there's a lot of things you can do to give back to. I know some of my friends, they're not coaches, but they're venturing into the realm of being a judge, which I think is pretty cool.
Yes, definitely.
Right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. For me, I don't like sitting down and staring at Wushu all the time. No, I mean I love it, but being not able to talk and have to just sit down there and just talk to a lot and not talk to anyone, I think no, I can't do that. So what I do is I basically just started photography because of Wushulegends. And I enjoy that because it allows me to not only capture a lot of beautiful moments, but I get to talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
I get to move around. I get to talk to a lot of
Definitely.
people. And one of the main reasons why I really like my job as Wushulegends is because back in my day, or in your day as well,
Yes.
we didn't have any sort of photographer.
Social media?
Right? Yeah,
Yes,
we didn't have social media wasn't a big thing. I remember Friendster was our time.
Oh, yeah.
No, but we didn't have any proper photographer for our
Yes.
events. And if you think about it, every single memory that we had is just in our head. We don't have proper photos or videos, or at least good quality one. So it's quite a shame. But yeah, so one of my main motives is obviously, like I said many times, is to spread Wushu, capture the art form. But one of my sub goals is I want to capture and freeze moments and memories for my friends who I'm capturing for. so that past 10 years after they've retired, when they look back, like, hey, they'll be quite happy that they have some sort of physical form of memory, which I think is great. Yeah, I'm sad because I don't have that at all. Yeah, how I wish I could shoot for myself. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the, even as photography moves on and videography moves on, I think there are a lot of videos that are lost to time. There
Yeah.
is one video that I've been searching for a very very long time. It was in 2011, and the details I'll go through. I'll go in depth a little bit
Mhm.
later. But it was a 2011 video. And it was probably one of the for me at least, the greatest performances of a Singapore Changquan routine ever, but sadly I couldn't find it anymore.
Who was it?
Yeah, I was hoping to bring this up later, but I guess since you
Uh,
asked me now, it's actually from Xiangting.
oh yeah, man. Oh,
Yeah,
something. Oh shit.
yeah.
Yeah. You-
That performance is definitely one of the
Yeah,
greatest
he was the best.
Changquan performances I've ever seen.
Was it in inter school?
Yes, it was Interschool 2011.
I might have it though.
Yeah, I'm
We
actually
filmed him.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was actually hoping that you might have the video because
I might have it. Yeah.
I've always suspected that YouTube account was actually belongs to you, but
Oh, I don't have a YouTube account, but
Oh, okay.
I mean, but we filmed him because we were very close
Yeah.
friends. Me and you know, both
Yes.
of our families are very close. So yeah,
Yes.
we filmed him. So I might have it. I might need to
Okay.
just search for it. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start with the first topic, and really actually I would say the only topic of the day. But
Right.
we have some questions. I have some questions for you later.
Mm-hmm.
But I before we start, I would say that whatever we say here is mostly our own opinion, and
Right, of
it's
course.
just purely open discussion.
Right.
Yeah. So the topic that we're discussing today is actually the current state of the Singapore Wushu scene. Very fitting for the first episode, I would say.
Mhm.
So right now, of course, we are in the COVID-19 lockdown and everything. But a brief summary is that our general schedule is obviously inter-school will come first, and then nationals competitions, plus some other smaller competitions, and of course, the last, I would say, major tournament of the year is normally the Inter-Varsity Polytechnic Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now the COVID-19 situation obviously disrupts this schedule. What would you say is the best scenario to happen from here? Of course, now the inter-school are being cancelled, and we don't know
Cancelled?
if they're okay, so no, sorry, not
Postponed, right?
cancelled, I would say,
Right,
but they're currently postponed. And who knows when we even get the inter-school back. So what do you think we should move on from here?
Let's see. So I mean, you're asking me first, like where
Yeah.
how does this whole situation affects this whole schedule, right?
Yeah.
I think obviously having the competition postponed to a later date has its effects. Like,
Yes.
I mean, I'm a coach as well, so I'm teaching my kids to compete in that competition as well. I think okay, there are some positives and some negatives that I see immediately the moment I heard the news. One is I'll start with a negative, right? Is that my kids might think that they have more time to
Yes.
to practice. But
Right.
the truth is, no, they don't. Because you think about it, like ever since I think around March area, a lot of training has been disrupted in
Yes,
some way or
definitely.
another, right? And also, like right now, can you see, like, oh my god, like I think close to 2 months we don't have any proper training. Everyone's training at home.
Yeah.
And if I'm not wrong, I heard the inter schools could be in July.
Yes, I've heard that too.
Yeah, so the whole circuit breaker comes back. The whole circuit breaker ends like
June.
1st June.
First
Yeah,
June right now.
Yeah, 1st
Yes.
June, right? Oh my god, we have just 1 month to pick
Yeah.
up from a slump. Technically,
Yes.
if you think about it, so that is a huge negative. But the thing is, our kids don't feel that way.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, they're all so happy. Oh, I've got more time. No, but no.
And I mean, I would say that even if you have more time, that will actually apply to all the other athletes who also
Right,
have
yeah,
more time.
yeah. And that's bad because, I mean, that's one of the good things I want to say. But that's bad because, you see, if you're slacking and your opponents are not,
Yes.
now you're
in trouble.
Yeah, you're in deep trouble. Yeah. But yeah, that's one of the positives I want to mention about, which is, yeah, you have more time if you know
Yes.
how to utilize your time.
Yes,
you
definitely.
you really have more time. Honestly, I'm not very sure if it will even carry out in July.
I have my doubts, but yeah.
Yeah, I have my doubts too. But one thing for sure is this next interschool, the very coming one, will be very interesting.
Yes, it'll be. I would say it'll probably be one of the more competitive ones.
Yeah,
There in
because
the past few years.
we might have like some athletes just skyrocketed in this whole
Yes.
whole period. We'll never know, right?
Yes.
But we have some athletes who are favorites who might just be in a slump. So
Actually,
I
now
think,
that sorry,
yeah,
you're
go ahead.
saying?
No, you go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Now that you mention it, what I actually just had this thought is that
Uh-huh.
the most interesting thing that we'll see is definitely the group routines, don't you think?
Oh
Because
yeah.
how are they going to make it now?
Well, we don't even know if there might be a group routine
Yes.
thing because of the whole COVID-19. But one
Yes.
more thing about the competition in this period is that we might not be able to have a lot of spectators,
Right,
which
definitely.
which might throw off the whole atmosphere of inter-schools. In fact,
Inter-school.
I'm not sure if you feel the same way. I definitely feel this way, but I think inter-schools have much more atmosphere and environment as compared
Com-
to nationals, right?
definitely,
Which
yeah, definitely.
which is weird because nationals it's meant to be bigger. It's meant
Yes.
to be at a greater scheme, but
Yes.
well, I don't know. I feel like one of the main reasons why I still love inter school is because of the atmosphere. You know how they cheer and everything.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know whether they will allow the amount of people in the hall. But
Right,
I
because
mhm.
okay, so because I was actually thinking that inter-school for us, at least I think you will agree that inter-school for most average athletes is actually the highest form of highest level of tournament that we have
Yeah,
in throughout the year. Because I would say that we are more emphasized with trying to compete with other schools for
yeah.
glory compared to nationals where it's mostly clubs to clubs, and even then they don't really emphasize that challenge to compete with other clubs. Most of the time, we are just competing individually for our medals.
Yeah, and
And
that's
for inter,
weird, right? Isn't
yeah,
that supposed to be of higher
yeah.
importance? But
Well, I guess
well,
storylines aren't very developed in Wushu
yeah.
just yet.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I get
so
what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, so I actually do agree with you that inter school is actually a lot more hype, as we would say. So for me actually I would think that for because adding on to the fact that because we feel that inter school is of course the highest level of tournament for us, I would say inter school is the best tournament that should go on this year. If they had to cancel one, I would honestly think that they should cancel nationals. But of course, we should hopefully not cancel any tournaments. But if we
Yeah.
really had to cancel one, I'm so sorry, but I have to pick nationals here. That being said, nationals of course provide a very good platform for newcomers who want to compete, and of course they don't want to compete at such a high level just yet. I would say nationals is actually the perfect platform for
Right.
them.
Okay, for me, right, this is my this is my opinion and this is my take.
Yeah.
For me, the best competition to be in and the most I would say most competitive one because everyone is competing is inter school. You have
Yes,
the
for
best
sure.
atmosphere. You're everyone's really trying to win as compared to nationals, which is weird. So you know some
Yes.
people who are really good in inter schools but they don't compete in nationals. That's weird. I don't know why, but well,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, but basically, I think inter schools is the best competition to be in. Number one, it's an annual thing. You look forward to meet your friends at this stage
Yes.
every year. I
Yes.
mean, you only have 4 years. Nationals, you have like forever. But yeah, it's very competitive. The whole atmosphere is great, especially for the group events. It's amazing. However, there is one positive for nationals, if I were to see it, which is that nationals actually opens a lot of opportunities and chances for athletes like us to try new routines,
Definitely.
right? Because
Definitely.
we get to try the optional routines, we get to try the traditional routines, which is in my opinion a whole different ball game. Like
Yes, yes.
yeah, like I can speak for optional because that's what I did for most of my
Yes.
career. It's a very difficult event because
Yes.
number one you have to choreograph your routine so that it's to your advantage.
Right.
and you have all the difficulty movements, which is very, very exciting to watch. And also
And exciting to do.
Yeah, it is. I love doing
Yeah.
nantus, but uh, it's a routine where it's more it's not just a routine. It's there's some sort of self expression in there,
Right.
right? Because every routine is your own routine.
And it reflects you.
Yeah, so it's meant to play to your advantage. So it's very interesting, and through learning optional routines. In fact, if anyone's listening, I think I would highly encourage and urge any one of you to go out there, even though you're not doing nationals or what, but you could try do your own optional routines, because
Yes.
it will let you discover yourself better.
Yes,
Whether
definitely.
whether what's your style, what's your preference, what's your strengths. Are you the very 身法 type, or are you the
Yeah.
very 爆发 kind? So
Yeah.
it helps you discover yourself, which I think is great. And same goes for the whole traditional thing, because traditional wushu is I would say the only part of the sport that is more towards the culture and art form. It's
Right.
still insanely tired if you
Yes.
do it. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, not as tiring as 竞赛 or 自选, but if
Yeah.
you do like the wrong routines, it can be way more tiring than 自选 or 竞赛.
Definitely.
Yeah. Can you imagine you do 马步功夫 for like 1 minute plus straight? Oh, that's horrible. But yeah, it lets you learn more about wushu, not just for yourself, but the wushu as a whole. So I think I did both. In
Yes.
fact, I did all three. I did the compulsory routines, I did optional, I did traditionals, and I think every wushu athlete should do three, because number one, compulsory is for your competition.
Right.
Optional is to discover yourself and to push
Yes.
yourself to greater physical limits for nantu. But
Right.
traditional is for yourself to discover wushu as a whole. Because if you think about it, every single compulsory routine originated from the traditionals.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I think that's very important. That's my tip. In fact, a lot of people have asked me, hey, how do you feel so in tune with your wushu? Like you have a lot of 身法 and 感觉. And
Right.
the reason is just because I learned traditionals. Yeah. I did
Yeah,
a handful of traditionals back then. Yeah.
Yeah, I think especially for the optional routines, for the final few years of my competitive career, I was actually doing optional. I believe I did. I've never touched the stuff. I've never touched good, but I did 自选刀 and 自选拳, 长拳. As much as I would say I was not as qualified as many other athletes who choose to do that routine, I would say that it's definitely been the most fun out of
It is.
the rest. Yeah,
It's very self-discovering.
You get to you get to do whatever you want, and I mean almost whatever you want, and it's really, really fun to just have that freedom to do all that. And I definitely agree with the traditional part, especially for someone who did traditional since I want to say primary 4, so that's about 2005. Could be wrong there. Yeah, so since 2005, and I would feel that like especially routines like Hu Quan, if I remember that correctly, Hu Quan had a lot of mabu gongbu, very static one as well. So it's really, really tiring if you do it wrongly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you go on.
No, so yeah, I think it's very important. Like, to me, a lot of athletes now, even my friends who are in the national team, right, from different countries, a lot of them just do optional. They never did traditionals before, and it's a shame, because if this goes on, traditionals will be lost.
Yes,
people will think
definitely.
that it's for old people, but
yes,
obviously it's not. But yeah, it's a shame if it gets lost. So I think everyone should try it, because it really will help you.
Yes, and of course there are those fun traditional routines. I would think all the animal styles are definitely one of the more exciting ones, and of course both of us are 9-chain whips practitioners, so we obviously find that very fun as well. Right, so I'm going to ask you a question here, which is what are your thoughts on the current schedule? So we have one competition at the start of the year, generally one in the middle of the year, and maybe some smaller ones at the end of the year. Or for inter-varsity, their inter-school is actually at the end of the year. So what is your thoughts on this generic schedule that you have overall?
Our current schedule, I think it's good. Honestly, I think it's like having your competition spread out gives ample chances for your athletes, for your students, or for yourself if you're listening and you're an athlete, for yourself to experience competition. Because no matter how we argue, competition is very different from performance and training,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
The whole atmosphere. I mean, that's what we're all training for. We're training
Right.
months and months, even years for that 1 minute 20 seconds, or even for Tai Chi maybe 3 minutes plus or 5, right? But I think having ample chances and opportunities to experience competition is good. And I think having one at the start of the year, in the middle, and the end is a good move.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, it's a good balance. But
Right.
for most people, they only can experience 2.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, it's so I think it's pretty well spread out because if we take the two scenario, the two competition scenario into account, it gives you let's say I would say, okay, let's take it as half a year. It gives you half a year in like a competition mode, so you have like competition, preparing for another one, competition, but it gives you another half to, I would say, enhance yourself, to
Right.
try out some other things where you are in this phase where you don't have to worry too much for a competition, where you can really try different things, but at the same time, yeah, you know that there's a competition in the near future, so it kind of makes you want to be in tune also, which I think is good. I'm fortunate enough to be able to experience more competitions because apart from competing in Singapore, I had to compete in Malaysia as well.
Definitely.
And oh my god, Malaysian ones are so different. So Malaysian ones,
Right.
they have like okay, so I'm sure you know Malaysia has 13 states,
Yes.
right? So it's very competitive because first we have the club competitions.
Yep.
And then we have the state competitions, which is quite big
Right.
already of itself. And then from the state competitions, they will only select like the top of the top in the state to represent the state to go for the nationals. And then
Right.
in the nationals, it's every single like wow, all everyone's really good. And then yeah, so we have a number of competitions and add up to the ones that I experience in Singapore. I think that gives me an advantage because I get to experience more. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, I actually agree with the whole competitions narrative.
Mhm.
However, for me personally, I actually have some problems with the current schedule. Not actually with the competition size. In fact, I actually do agree that having competition so spread out is actually a very good move. But I feel that maybe this is just a more personal thing, but because for athletes like us who have already like compete to our heart's content and we really want
Right.
to move on, it becomes very limited on where we want to move our Wushu career to, because we don't really compete anymore. What do we do next besides coaching, you know? Personally, for me, because after Wushu, I actually went on to a establish hopefully a dance career. Not career as in working career. It's just, you know,
Right.
maybe try my hand at dance. Yeah, so I tried my hand at dance, and what I found is that performances, especially not your run of the mill type performances, you know, CNY, London Festival, not that kind, like actual productions is something that actually gives athletes a more it kind of replicates the feeling of 自选 optional routines, where you get to choreograph something and it actually gives you a lot more ideas for Wushu that you have never explored before. And
Right.
for me, that was a very huge motivation for me joining dance, and it's always been something that I've thing that the Wushu community lacks, is that actual performing platform for us. So I don't know you remember this one performance, very big performance at Singapore National
Hui.
Stadium. Yes, 2012.
Right. I knew it, you're gonna say that. Yeah. Which is great.
Honestly,
Like,
yeah.
but what happened to it?
I have no idea. I really have no idea. But
That
honestly,
was a highlight for when I was a kid, you know, like
Yeah.
being able to perform for that many people. And it was like I'm not sure if it's an annual thing, but it was like a thing to look forward to not for competition but for performance, which I think is
Yes.
great, but I'm not sure what happened to it.
Yeah, and honestly, watching well, okay, so back then I was in Marshall House, and the LED performance that Marshall House did was definitely one of the most favorite performances I've seen ever. Period. But yeah, I would think that more performing platforms would actually benefit those that are not competing anymore and wish to pursue something Wushu besides coaching. Yeah, and yeah, so I was actually, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Nanyang Polytechnic actually has their martial arts night every year.
Oh, wow.
So what they do is they actually combine different kinds of martial arts into
Mhm.
one very big performance. So we have Wushu, we have I believe Silat, Taekwondo, and many other martial arts. And honestly, that idea was really I was so blown away when I first watched it.
Mhm.
I was like, this is something that the Wushu community needs to try. Maybe get some other clubs of martial arts to come together and create one very big performance.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
quite sick. Yes, yeah, that would be quite
Yeah.
sick. Yeah,
So
but you know the underlying issues. It's gonna be quite
yes.
difficult.
Yeah, logistics wise it's a nightmare for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
that'll be
I
quite
definitely
cool.
think I definitely think that there's a lot more potential than just competitions. And for
Mhm.
those like me who experience competitions burn out very, very fast, I feel that performance is actually something that I won't say it's less stressful because actually being a production is very stressful, but it's definitely more refreshing compared to just being able to train yourself for competitions all the time. Yeah, and for younger athletes, maybe they don't feel it now, but
You make it
yeah,
sound like you
but
were very old. Oh no.
I'm sorry. Yeah, but I mean, I definitely feel that some athletes, especially those secondary school kids, oh my god, secondary school teens, all right, that
Yeah.
they definitely compete so much now. They like it for sure, but I feel that we can introduce something else to mix it up a little. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be quite cool. Uh, I like the whole idea, and if like I'm just as you're saying it, I'm like imagining like wow, if every single club could come together to
And
do
create
a performance, that would be
right.
very sick. Like we could.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is all just theoretical, but we could rent out like a theater, one night show. All the clubs come together, just for the sake of wushu as a culture.
Yes.
It'll be very, very, very sick.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be like a 观摩会 to ourselves.
Yeah, and yeah, I think like I said, 观摩会, like you said actually, 观摩会 is definitely one of the more memorable moments
Yes, it
that
is.
we have been through.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about maybe some other directions that we feel that the wushu scene could move towards.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I've have this podcast now. I'm not sure how much I'll be doing this podcast,
Right.
but something else that I would love to introduce to the community is commentaries and competition. Live streams and
Yeah,
comments.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, man.
I've actually proposed this idea to my friend recently.
Uh-huh.
He said it was a good idea, but I'm definitely hoping that if not me, someone else would try their hand at it because it's something like I don't know about most people now, but definitely back then I wish that I could attend competition every day just to watch and enjoy the moment, you know. And I think live streaming competitions would be something that it's
Yeah,
definitely
the
picked up.
trend now, yeah.
Yeah, it's picked up recently in most international competitions, and I
Mm-hmm,
feel
yeah.
that locally we should actually maybe establish something like this as well.
Do you know that when I started Wushu Legends, I think it was the first end of the first year of Wushu Legends. Second. Okay, by the way, Wushu Legends is like 5 years old now.
Yeah.
It's quite dead now because I'm so busy and
Yeah, right.
everyone else has different priorities now, and so the account is quite dead. But back in the day, uh, we actually wanted to propose. We wanted to try, but we didn't do it because um it was very difficult. There's a lot of hurdles to do, but we
Right.
actually wanted to be a service,
Right.
like to be able to help record memories. That's one. Like that's the main thing people know Wushu Legends for is to shoot photographs, right?
Yes.
So a photography service. But not just that, we want to do like commentary live stream service.
Right.
We really wanted to do it.
Yes.
We really wanted to bring in people who know their shit. I'm sorry, who know their stuff to actually really to actually talk about wushu during the competition and
Right.
to give it more atmosphere. I mean, you
Yes.
think about it. Why one of the things why football is such a nice sport to watch. If you think
Yes.
about it, if you remove the commentaries,
Yes.
football will just be 11 people kicking a ball towards each other. And if you don't know what the hell is going on, it's very boring,
Yes, definitely.
right? And
Yes.
if you think about it, wushu itself is amazing to watch because it's an art form. It's
Yes.
like a performing arts, and people who know it will appreciate that. But there are
Definitely.
some people who don't know what is wushu or not too clear, right?
Right.
So having a commentator, like just commentating the whole competition, might bring more audience, more attention from the public, and hopefully it will help push Wushu to greater heights.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
overall, it will improve the whole atmosphere. So
Yeah, and I definitely agree. I think that commentary actually gives life to
yes,
those people who want to watch it online. And from someone who actually watches the NBA, and I also of course I'm sure you know I actually do Pokemon now, and yeah, all these tournaments we always have live streams, and
right.
live streams really gives another perspective to the audience, you know. For regular audiences who watches the competition live, they'll be like, you know, they have all these thoughts, and they'll be like, but it's all internal. The commentary gives you something to actually discuss as well, and I think that's one of the more beautiful aspects of the commentary. Yeah, and of course I would definitely encourage everyone to try and think of ways to expand the Wushu community, you know. Is there's a lot more things to do than just coaching, no offense. No offense, but there is a lot more other things unexplored. So definitely some things that could happen is maybe more on the more digital end. Some okay, there are some ideas that maybe I'm not so comfortable in sharing now, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
But,
we will.
yeah, but definitely commentary is one of them.
Yeah,
And
like
but what about you?
I was seriously like I was discussing with my whole Wushu Legends team, like, let's make this a service where Wushu Legends could be hired anywhere in the world to go and shoot. But at the same time, if I mean the only competitions that have proper live streaming and commentaries, let's see, it's just more all the official IWFs.
Yeah, definitely.
But the other competitions, they don't get too much coverage.
Right.
So we want Wushu Legends to be that service who will give coverage to everyone.
Right.
And I'm so sad, but Wushu Legends has sort of died down a bit. But back then it was like the one with the highest following. So we wanted to give like that power,
right,
coverage to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that actually talking about that, Wushu Legends definitely open up a lot new possibilities. And one other possibility that I'm sure you remember, but definitely they are no longer active, was Wushu No Kick.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Oh yeah.
Honestly,
are they no longer are they really no longer active?
Yeah. I mean, at least I don't think I've not seen their Instagram update in a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as Wushu Legends.
Yeah. Honestly, Wushu No Kick, as much as it was a very controversial idea back then,
It was.
looking back at it, I do feel that actually they were onto something, and
they were onto something. Yes.
Yeah, they were definitely onto something, and hopefully one day, you know, something like this can actually become a real thing.
No, I honestly think that was a very, very cool idea. In fact, it's something that we are and we have just talked about, which is having people from all different clubs to come together to form like a show, which is exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
But I think maybe, I'm not too sure because I never divulged myself in that, but maybe just the way they handled things wasn't too well received.
Yeah, definitely.
And I really honestly, I don't want to offend anyone, but I really don't know what happened. I was pretty cool with the idea, and I thought that was amazing. If anything, the only thing that, if I remember, that any connections that I had with Wushu No Kick was they used my photos. Yeah, they used my photos.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, without proper crediting. So that kind of tripped some line to me. But no, but apart from that, I think they were on something, and I really love the idea. It's just that I think I'm really not sure, but I think something happened somewhere.
Yeah,
it was a shame. If I think if they handled, if they I would say approach this whole thing in a more generic or more, I don't know, but the feeling that I'm getting was they was trying to start a movement.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I have heard a few stories, which I'm not going to delve into because it's all rumors. Yeah, but definitely there were some stories. I think overall the feeling of it was that they were not very well received by many members of the higher community.
Right.
But I think that you said is that they were onto something, and hopefully that something will come out of it one day.
Yeah.
And we will see something great that comes out of it.
Well,
Yeah.
but like I said, I'm not sure what happened, but
Right.
it could really just be, I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but it could just be old folks not accepting something new, right?
Hey,
it could really be nothing wrong with
Right.
genomics. I have no idea. I'm just saying this all out of speculation, but it could really be just some old folks at the higher management that they're not too open to new ideas. But no, I think that they're onto something definitely, and I hope, like I said, that we could have like a show like that, and I think it's very, it'll be very sick, like
Right.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
of course, as we are on this topic, Wushu have a lot of untapped potential.
Mhm.
What kind of directions do you think Wushu could move towards in Singapore moving forward?
Wow. Honestly, I haven't given it much thought.
Right.
But I think the idea of the performance one that we just talked about was very good.
Right.
I had one thought before that I wanted to do was it was also trying to connect all the clubs together. I know clubs have club rivalries and
Yes.
stuff like that, but no, and I think it's good because it sort of pushed people to train harder and to win
Yes.
your rivals. I was from Sino when I first started Wushu, and
Mhm.
Sino we had rivalries. In fact, I'm not even afraid to say like Sino, we were like say, oh, we need to win Dewu, which is martial arts right now.
Yes,
and we
correct.
need to win Kunshan. No, but I think I think this is healthy. Like that's what competition is all about, right? I mean,
Right.
We're trying to compete to win. Apart from, I mean, we put away all the saying of, oh no, we were just competing because we were friends or to further
Yeah.
our team. I mean, as much as that is supposed to be the truth, there is definitely some sort of rivalry and competition in there, and I think it's good because if there is no rivalry and people aren't trying to win, then it's not really a competition anymore. It's more like
Definitely.
performance, right? You
Definitely.
really need some sort of competitive element in there for it to
Right.
be a good competition. But yeah, so I think apart from competitions, I wanted to link up all the clubs together by doing a video. Produce
Yes.
right? I could make like a annual video.
Right.
Like I could go to every single club, do like a short 1 minute video, and I'll link up together and then push it as a whole as Singapore Wushu.
Wow, that's actually a very good idea.
I wanted to do that, but well, I'm the only photographer and only videographer right now
Right.
in Wushulegends, and it's not gonna be easy. And I think, as you know, sometimes approaching clubs might be a tricky thing, especially when, let's say for me, I'm affiliated with martial arts, I'm coaching
Yes.
for them. It might be a tricky thing to handle. So that's
Right.
why I didn't do it. But if anyone wants to do it, and let's say if everyone hears this and feel that it's a great idea, I wouldn't mind doing it. But yeah.
Right. And I think both of us will encourage people to start opening up doors for Wushu so that the
Yeah.
community can grow as a whole. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the podcast so far, and I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. So, I would love to hear some of your thoughts on some of the topics that we have discussed so far. And yeah, do leave them at the comments below. Also, if you have any feedback, do let me know. I do have plans for episode 2, and I would really love to make one if there's enough interest. So yeah. Alright, back to the podcast. We're gonna move on to a few questions here. So I actually have 2 questions for you, but I may add one more because I just thought
Okay.
of it on the spot.
Right,
So
sweet.
my first question for you was, your 3 most defining Wushu athletes in Singapore personally. It could be for personal reasons, could be for legacy reasons. It's all up to you.
Okay. Let me see. In Singapore only, is it?
Yeah, if you want me to start, I could start.
Oh yeah, you could start. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So I've got 3. And I'm gonna mention that the first one is definitely not because you are on this spot, but I'm just gonna say it's actually you. Because
Wow.
I feel
Thank you.
this is for two reasons. One,
Mhm.
because as a 9 section weight practitioner, I do feel that you are definitely the gold standard and the best 9 section weights athlete we have seen in Singapore. Yeah, and definitely and I also think that as I mentioned this a couple of times already, you are someone who has been trying to open up new corridors with Wushulegends
Mhm.
and definitely trying to improve the scene in your own way. So I
Mhm.
would feel that in terms of legacy wise, you are definitely up there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Secondly is Joan from
Wow, yeah.
Joan Lim. Yeah, definitely the most exciting athlete we are seeing right now in Singapore, and accomplished a lot that we have seen in the past few years.
Mhm.
And finally, someone who is my personal favorite wushu athlete in Singapore is sadly no longer practicing for
Oh,
a few
yeah.
years
No,
now.
I know what
It's
you're
Xiang
talking
Ting.
about. Yeah.
And
Wow,
I
yeah.
honestly think that no one has ever reached his level of
Yeah.
athleticism, I would say, and his
Huh.
level of wushu actually in all the years that I've seen wushu, I've not
Mm.
seen someone who has matched his level so far. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so my turn.
Yeah.
My first person definitely Xiang Ting.
Yeah.
At the top of my head, immediately, if someone asks me if there's any like really good wushu athletes in Singapore like back then, first one is Xiang Ting, because
Right.
you know I've received comments and compliments that I'm the first wushu athlete apart from China to do
Right.
a 720 split,
Right.
right? And
Yes.
yeah, a lot of people say apart from China, like don't count China in. I mean, because
Yes.
they're all monsters.
Yes. Yes.
So, but apart from China, I'm one of, or if not the first
Yeah. Actually,
non-Chinese. Yeah.
I believe I've heard that before, and I believe I actually do still believe in that. But yeah, please go on.
No, yeah. While Xiang Ting might not have done 720 split,
Right.
but he was doing 720 way before I could do it.
Yeah.
And he was I'm not sure, but at least to what I believe and what I remember, he was the only person in Singapore who is consistently able to do it.
Right.
And he was great. Like he did mapu lah, but
Yeah.
no, but he's great. Oh my god, like Xiang Ting, I swear if he never stopped. In fact, actually for me, right,
Yeah.
Xiang Ting, he hit his peak at about sec 2, sec 3, but it's not really
Right.
his peak.
Right.
It's just that his priorities shifted.
Yes,
And
definitely.
and Wushu was not like a thing to him anymore. He just wants to get it over with, the whole secondary school life thing. But if he never shifted, if he never waved, like if he was still firm with his beliefs and his interests, I think he would be the best. And I would say the best Wushu athlete
easily.
that Singapore has.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Actually, before you move on to your next two athletes, I
Mhm.
do want you to hope. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember this story that you once told me. I believe you were primary 4. But you didn't tell me this in primary 4. You were recounting this story with me about how Xiang Ting actually challenged you to do your 360 B twist, or as we call it, Zhuan Ti.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe you want to share that story real quick.
Yeah. No. So the thing was this, like, I started Wushu when I was 10, which was primary 4, and I was a kid who didn't know any fear. Like I literally just went into any training class and demanded like I want to flip. I was so excited about Wushu and everything, and I met Xiang Ting, and it wasn't the B twist 360. It was the I mean he did push me for that as well, but it was the aerial 360.
Right.
Yeah, 侧弓转体.
Right.
So, but for the basic for 旋子转体360, he also did the same thing. So he could do it. He's the first of every single nantu that I could remember. He was the first one in everywhere I could see. He was the first one to do it. At least that's what I remembered. I'm sure there might be people out there who could or did it earlier than him, but at least that's what I remembered.
Yes.
Right? But he was doing it. I was like, shit. Wow, that's so amazing. And he's like, just do it. And I'm like, okay, let me do it. And there's, I won't say a rivalry because we never truly had a rivalry, but I did compete with him before, like proper. Which I can talk about that in a moment. But we had some sort of like push because back then in Sino, I think me, Xiang Tian, I remember Guang De,
Right.
we were the three people who were constantly trying to push Nantu. I remember there are a few people like Hong Ming and stuff like that, but at least to our age level, because Hong Ming was like a bit older than us, but Xiang Tian and Guang De, they were trying to push. And then okay, so basically what happened was Guang De did 360 Zhuan Tie. Xiang Tian already did it, but I just said like, oh, I'm gonna do it. Then it's like, I challenge you today. I'm like, okay, and I did it.
Yeah.
And then the next few days, we did 侧攻翻, and then after that, Xiang Tian started to do 360. I'm like, shit, how could you? He's like, do it. And I'm like, okay. Then it's like,
Right.
I asked him, how do you do it? It's like just flip, touch your legs together, and do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. It's like, that's it. And
Yeah.
back then, it seemed like a proper explanation.
Yeah.
Right now, if you tell that to your kids will be like, what the?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, back then that was how was it? Like, he just said, just flip, 并腿, just close your legs together and then twist. I'm like, okay.
Right.
And then yeah, that's what I did, and that
Right.
and I could do it as well.
Yeah, and
But-
actually, you know what? That was the same advice your brother gave me when I was trying to achieve my own B twist.
I am not surprised. But yeah, so I was fortunate enough because okay, Xiang Ting was a bit, I think, 2 years older than me. So
Right.
technically in the inter schools we were never able to compete against each other.
Right.
But I was fortunate enough to compete with him. I still lost to him, but I was very happy. Do you know why?
Right.
Because we competed together only once ever
Mm-hmm.
in the Asian Junior Championships.
Right.
And he got second, I got third, but our points are exactly the same.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no lah, but he won me at Xiaofen Shu, so that's why
Right.
he won. But yeah, man, that was my achievement for me. I really like that. Yeah, like nailed it.
I do have one competition against him, but I mean I never stood a chance. But it was a very memorable competition because it was my Sec 3 year, so this was 2011, and it was 2011. So we were doing spear for the first. I was doing spear for the first time.
Mhm.
Spear second international, and he came, okay. So you know, back then we were still using the Chongqing Sports Hall.
Right.
The one at the side, and there at the bottom floor there was this preparing the ground where we all had to gather. So I
Yeah.
was carrying my spear, and I saw him, and he was using this spear that was barely above his head. It was like definitely not within regulation, and I was like, dude, are you going in that spear? And he was like, yeah, and he got first. He got first in that routine, and
Yeah, despite the marks being deducted, right?
Yeah,
that's how
and
good he is. Yeah.
second place was Samuel from Samuel the Tai Chi Samuel Dan, yeah.
Yeah, I remember back then he was doing man.
Yeah,
Chiang.
so oh my god, that story is one that I will always remember, and I'll always share when someone
Yeah,
asks me
he's,
about a story. or
something is
something.
crazy. Yeah.
Right. So your other two athletes.
I think the next one would be Joan. Not
Right.
because you said it, but I think he is, in my opinion, right now, the most exciting, like you said, the most exciting
Yes.
one. And I think has the most potential to be our world champion.
Right.
I'm sure he has achieved a lot as well already. But I
Right.
think he could achieve way more.
Right.
I think he has a lot of potential, like crazy potential, and I think I would say he has not reached his peak yet.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, he still has a lot of heights to reach, and I think that's great, because at least for Singapore, having an athlete like him who is seriously amazing. In fact, I think there was one competition where he didn't. I think did he win second or what?
Yeah,
But
second at
I
World Champs, if I'm right.
I personally felt he should get first.
Right.
I really did. Like I personally felt he should get first. But yeah, having an athlete like that in Singapore really makes us proud.
Yes,
Honestly,
definitely.
it does. Yeah, it is. He's crazy. He is. And funny thing is, I was at the world competition, like
Right.
the world championships, and
Right.
when he is done, I was the interviewer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
so-
interesting.
Yeah, that was quite funny because I didn't know I was supposed to interview him as well, and I wasn't supposed to be interviewer as well. I was just supposed to be the photographer and videographer. But I think last minute they had lack of manpower, so they said, who
Right.
can speak Chinese? Then I'm like, me. Then they said, okay, could you come over? Could you help us with this? I'm like, who you want me to interview? So I interviewed a couple of athletes, and the funny thing is, all of them are my friends.
Right.
Right. I sadly retired really early. I sadly retired
Right.
when I was 18, 19. So yeah, I didn't have much of a wushu career, but
Yeah.
everyone who are currently competing now are from my batch and my friends.
Right.
And I was trying my best so hard to not make it
Keep it professional.
to not make it informal. I was my
Right.
god, yeah. A fun joke was one of my friend. His name is he's from Taiwan. His name is Lai Bo Wei, and I call him
Okay.
Wei Ge.
Yeah.
I mean that's what you call him. But if you think about it, Wei Ge means Viagra.
Right. My Chinese is not not too good, so
Yeah, but
okay.
Wei Ge means Viagra.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, and it's not very nice if
Yeah.
no, and it's a natural thing for me to see him and immediately call, hey, Wei Ge how? But
Yeah.
imagine like in a proper, and it was live stream on television.
Oh no.
I was so happy that I managed to be sober. I was like, like Bowie.
Well, it was live streamed too. Okay.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, but yeah, I was fortunate enough to interview Joan as well, and
Right.
he has his road. I mean, we all see his glory, but his road to glory isn't easy. I'm sure you have heard of it. Like he has quite bad injuries.
Yes,
and
definitely.
He still nailed it like at a competition. Is it the Asian Games? Yeah, the Asian Games in Indonesia. From what I remember, he was in braces. It was horrible. No one thought that he would compete because I mean that's just a natural thing to do.
Right.
But no man, he nailed that shit.
Joan has been and is probably the one athlete that's going to create a lot of sensation for the next few years.
Yes, he is, and he's so young. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your third athlete?
Honestly, sorry. Before
sorry.
I move on to the third
Right.
athlete, Joan is one of the reasons why I feel like I want to come back.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah,
Will
that
we
speaks
see
a lot.
a comeback
That-
from Zheng Yan soon?
No, not happening. But yeah, that's one of the that's a serious compliment. Like, yeah,
Right.
that's crazy. But yeah, my third athlete. Back in my day, let's see. There aren't too many people that I know of that I would say defining wushu athletes. But
Yes.
if I were to pick one, I would say Wong Qing Hai.
Yes, I actually had that in mind as well. But
Like because he is like there's no denying it.
yes.
He created a sensation for wushu.
Yes. Probably the most
Singapore.
recognizable Singapore
Yeah.
athlete ever. Wushu
Yes.
athlete ever. Right.
Yes, and I kid you not, I swear to God, like I still remember seeing him on the television, on the news where they say,
Yes.
"Oh, our Singapore athlete won SEA Games," blah blah blah, and he was there.
Yeah, I definitely remember him from all the dramas and everything, and
I swear I walked up to him and asked him for his autograph.
same. Like when I because I was from Nanhua Primary School, and when he first, because he used to teach. I mean, I'm not sure if he still does, but he taught our school. When I entered Wushu, and one of the first things I did was went to him and asked for an autograph, and wow, it was like looking back, it's so funny, but like back then it was a huge thing.
I was definitely starstruck when I heard about it. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, some
but
honorable.
he
Sorry, go on.
he is definitely one of the most defining wushu athletes, I would say.
Yeah. I had Wong Qing Hai as one of the other athletes I was considering. One more that I really do want to mention was actually Yi Xiang, who has at one point was probably the face of the national team.
He pushed a lot as well. Yi Xiang is one of the most hardworking athletes I know.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's our top three. So I have another question. Sorry, my laptop just died, so I have to blindfold this now. Another question that I did want to ask you was, maybe is there a certain point, your most not say your most defining moment, but a defining moment in your wushu career that you would like to share?
Defining moment.
Yeah. Once again, I could go first if you want.
Oh, you could go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So mine was actually when it's sad and funny at the same time was actually when I quit Wushu. Not say when I quit Wushu, when I quit competitions.
No, that's
And
interesting.
it was 2018, the first and only IVP that I've been in. I was already considering retirement for a very long time, and in fact I actually did want to compete once again this year for the
Mhm.
sole reason because I actually hope that I can earn my one and only inter-school medal at that competition with 九节鞭, with 9 section whip. And I trained so hard for that routine. And when it comes to competition, the one move that I was so confident in, which was the floor jump, the very
Yeah.
iconic floor jump, yeah, I messed that one up. And
Oh,
I
no.
was so frustrated. At the same time, I was so happy because I knew that despite that mistake, it was still probably the one of the more one of the routines that I really worked hard for that competition. And it was while I definitely like feel a lot of regret not winning a medal then, and I was really confident that I could win a medal then. It still probably is one of the more memorable moments and very defining because since then I've not been in Wushu for the Wushu scene for a very long time, but it for Wushu to me has been for a very long time has been a huge part of my life, right? And stepping away from it for the first time felt like it felt good and really bad at the same time. And I
Yeah,
I
know
still yeah
I know what you're feeling.
yeah. So that's my moment.
My moment. Okay, without a doubt, there is one. In fact, that was actually I have two.
Right.
I have two, but the one that I have in mind is in 2009. It's the exact same competition that I competed with Xiang Ting, the Asian Junior Champs that was held in Macau. I was representing Team Malaysia. The most defining moment, at least for me, in terms of achievement, is I won China.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I definitely did not know that.
I won China to win the gold medal for the first international Daoshu. Yeah.
Wow. That's an accomplishment for sure. Yeah.
No, I had no idea what happened. I just went and I was like, just did my best, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Won
Wow.
0.01, but still a win.
A win is a win. Hey.
Yeah.
And I mean, when it comes to competition, there are so many factors, mistakes and all that. Yeah, we all have to take our wins and we all take our losses sometimes. So yeah, that's a very good moment.
It is one of my most defining moments. But I think if you say my entire career, as in defining moment, not only for achievements, I would say 2010, World Wushu Junior Championships. I represented Malaysia. I once again stood on the world platform.
Right.
I was a favorite to win 2 golds, 1 silver. Meaning I would win every single event except for the one that China has. So that was the projected. Everyone knew I was a favorite.
Right.
But I screwed up. Not because I wanted to, but 1 week prior to the competition, I had a spinal injury. I was paralyzed.
I think I remember this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I
paralyzed.
remember the story that you told me, right?
So I had to take medication and stuff like that. I mean, some people might think, what the hell? I thought if paralyzed you can't move. I'm like, so how mine works was I had a sleep disc. It moved out of place. It pressed on a specific nerve that didn't allow me to move my legs. But I went intensive medical care for the next 1 week. I was supposed to not compete at all, but I really wanted it. I really wanted it. So I messed up because I couldn't feel my legs for 2 events. So I got completely horrible at them. And the one event that there's no way I could win the gold medal because China is there. I did perfectly well.
Wow.
Everyone said though, like if I was in my top form, without any injuries, I would have won China once again. I was so close. I think it was a 0.02.
Right.
Yeah, it was a 0.02 difference. But yeah, that was one of my defining moments not because of the competition, but because of that injury. It changed everything in my Wushu career. Every single thing just went haywire. But then for the good, because after that, it made me train my core crazily, and it made me more aware of other things. If you remember, I said, when I was young, Wushu was like a like I didn't have any fear. I just went in, do
Yeah.
every single mantu like I want.
Yes.
But now after that, I was more aware. I was taking care of my body even more. So
Was this the one where you once told me that you woke up and you could not move your lower
yeah,
body? Yeah,
yeah,
I think I definitely remember.
it's super scary. So most people think like, oh, spinal injury must be because I fell or something like that. No, mine was
Yes.
for me it was a horror story. Went back to my hostel. I was living in Malaysia back then. Went back to my
Yeah.
hostel, completely no problem.
Yeah, I
Ate Maggi
remember this.
goreng,
Right.
happily slept. Next day morning I wake up, I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't feel
Yeah.
it. It was a shock. It was a freak
Yeah.
show.
Yes,
But-
I remember this story really, really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say that injuries has been a part of I think both our careers for
Yeah.
quite a while.
In fact, every athlete's career will have some sort of injury.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so I was gonna end it here, but I do have one question now.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head is that what would you say? Advice would you give to athletes who as of like maybe they have not thought about this advice before, but an advice that they will help them improve on their training and or I guess improve on their Wushu quality as a whole.
Okay, there's two advices that's on top of my head. First thing is the one that I've already said, which is when you have your free time, right, not competing inter schools, go try out optional, go try out traditional, because that will help you. Yeah, that's an advice I want to drive home to everyone. Like, really, really try, because you will discover, number one, like I said, optional will let you discover yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses. Traditionals will let you discover Wushu way more. So that's one thing. The other thing that I want to talk about, and I think is something that everyone should know, but no one actually remembers properly, because I mean I was an athlete as well. I didn't remember this very well, but to train smart.
Yes,
Train smart.
definitely.
Because you think about it, like Wushu, is a sport where to improve you need to change, right?
Yes.
And your coach is there for the reason to help you change your bad stuff away. And but how often an athlete is stagnant, shows no improvement, because he's simply ignorant to what his coach say. He would change for that lesson, and then he will come back the next lesson with the same mistakes again. And this is a cycle. Only when he change that and get rid of the bad habit will he improve.
Right, definitely.
Yeah. So for me, that is something that I want everyone to know. Just you think about it. Let's say this is very hypothetical. It's very figuratively, but think about it. Let's say there are 100 problems.
Right.
Right. To reach the level of gold medal, you need to solve 100 problems. Let's say. And your coach helps you, points them out for you.
Right.
Let's say you are able to change these 100 problems in 2 days.
Right.
Possible. I mean, if you think about it, Wushu is not hard. It's hard, and it's not hard because of this. If I ask you to do every single movement individually, I guarantee you everyone would be able to execute the move 90% very well.
Yes.
But when you link it up together,
yes,
that's where people go wrong.
Right.
So I think that if you remember what your coach say and you kind of really change every single time, you don't. I mean, it's natural that humans we forget things, but if every training we remember, we can. I used to write on my notebook. I have a notebook for all my mistakes. I do that. Like I really do that. I don't think any athlete out there, at least now, would bother writing your problems down in the notes and then referring them. That's what I did because I was so into Wushu. In fact, you think about it. I trained Wushu for technically 9 years, but in the middle, I had 3 years where I stopped. So I technically only trained Wushu for 6 years, but I managed to get to where I am because I trained smart.
Right,
So
definitely.
Everything my teacher said, I make sure I remember it. The next lesson, I make sure to not make that mistake forever.
Right.
Because if you manage to do that, then you won't have the same mistake. You're constantly improving.
Yeah, that's incredible actually. I think training smart is something that for me personally, sadly, I actually started doing it very, very late in my career. I remember it very clearly in late 2016 was when I really started like understanding the concept of training smart, and it actually helped me elevate my Wushu for the last 2 years of my career. Yeah, but yeah, I do agree. Training smart is something that I would feel a lot more athletes need to understand. Yeah. So for me personally, I think this is something that has helped me more in dance when I started my dance, and somewhat in Wushu throughout 2017. Was understanding concepts and theories of Wushu, or
Right.
the theory of the move, a particular move, and
Mhm.
understanding the technicalities behind it. And when I say understand, I actually mean fully understand it before you if you want to bring it to the next level. So this for me would be something like, for example, let's take a whirlwind kick, 旋风脚.
Yeah.
So most of the time people just jump, twist, and kick. And
Yeah.
I know this is probably not much of a problem for you. For me, I did not know how much the head actually affects the spin. And this is something that I only figure out after dance. Yeah, I started dance, and then I realized that actually the head provides a lot more energy for that spin. And if you ask me to do a 旋风脚 now, I probably can't do it anymore. but I really wish that back then I understood the technicalities of a move and break it down fully before I actually started learning it, because it really did help me understand and imagine how the move should feel like. And when I did it, I didn't get it on the first try, but it definitely helped me speed up the process of learning. And I think it's something that a lot more people should be trying to figure out.
Yeah, because you think about it, like how often, I mean, you're a coach, I'm a coach, we all know, how often do our kids train blindly?
Right, definitely.
Almost every training session, if you think about it. And the ones that don't train blindly are the ones that are winning now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's a very obvious thing. But one more thing that I think I would just like to touch on is having a good coach is very important, obviously, because he needs to know the right technique and stuff, blah, blah.
Yes.
But one more thing that's more important than that is the communication you have between you and your coach.
Oh, yes, definitely. For real.
Yeah. It is very important because because the coach might be explaining something, but you might not get it. But if you just, for the sake of saying, you say, okay, I understand, but you don't really understand, then it's not getting into you. So I think that's very important, right communication. And you can ask your coach questions. It doesn't have to be always the coach telling you things. You can ask the coach. You can go and take the initiative to go and ask him, like, hey, I'm having problems with this. I'm trying a lot of different ways. Let your coach understand you. He will be able to help you better.
Yeah, and I do agree. So actually, okay, before we end off, I do want to elaborate a little bit more on that coach and student bonds. How many are there any memorable bonds that you can remember? And it doesn't have to be you. It could be any coach and any student that you can remember.
I didn't see much other bonds, but I have one for myself, which is Zhang Feng, the current coach of the national athlete.
Yes.
Before he went to coach the national athlete, he was coaching me in Marshall House, and he was the one who brought me back to my feet and made me the athlete that I was. So after my injury, I couldn't even turn 180 degrees. Like I couldn't jump, but he made me. Before he left, I was able to spin like 900. So that was quite sick.
Oh yeah, Zhang Feng was a really good coach. Right, so thank you, Zheng Yan, for joining me on this very
welcome.
First episode.
Thank you very much.
So if you want to find Wushulegends, I believe that's the page that you want to probably promote. Where can they find you on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, just type Wushulegends. Yeah, that's the Instagram handle. They'll find. I'm trying to revive that thing now.
Right, and it's I hope to see more from Wushulegends for sure. There's definitely a platform that has a lot more potential.
Thank you very much.
Right, so thank you for listening to the first episode of the Singapore Wushu Network podcast. I'm still trying to get used to that name as well. So hopefully we'll have another episode with you, Zheng Yan.
Great. Let me know.
Alright, so we're gonna end it here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
And if you have any, do leave them. Oh my god.